Hey guys, what's going on? As always, thanks for tuning in to my humble YouTube channel. So, last week we looked at the unboxing of the Maxace Pelican. Today I'm going to try and give you guys like a full review, a full comprehensive review on it today. I waited like 6-7 days, a good week or so, and there was a good reason I did that. I wanted to wait until I had like a full solid impression, spent a few days flipping it, spent some time with it in my pocket, and you know, see how it behaves and see how it feels. And also, there's one other reason I waited to make this video, is because that when I unboxed this, and I didn't really show it too much in the unboxing video, but the bearings were very rough when I first unboxed it. And nothing wrong with the bearings themselves. What it has to do is because this is channel handles with bearings, it's not like sandwich, where you have the sandwich construction where you have the whole length of the slabs to flex and give depending on, you know, the width of the spacers and all that. But all you have worth of flex is just this little worth of gap. So what was happening was the tolerances were too tight, and even with the pivot screws loose, it was clamping down too hard onto the bearings. So even with the pivot screws fully loose, it was rolling very rough. And it took a few days worth of fucking with it and tuning it before I got it to where I was happy with it. Took like a solid few days worth of taking it apart, like forcibly breaking it in, cranking down the pivot screws really tight, and just rolling it back and forth, trying to wear a solid race into those the steel washers there, because that's what the bearings ride on. They don't ride on the titanium, they ride on those steel washers. And also what I did was I sanded those washers down a good bit, just to take some of the space out of that gap there, free up a little space, and that was what did the trick. Now it's buttery smooth and perfect. One thing is, I'm not really gonna highlight the trainer too much. We can take a look at it here now. I had it on the other day, and all I'm gonna really tell you is that it's really loud. It sounds pretty cool. It's got that tuning fork in there. On Maxace's Instagram page, they have a little clip that shows some flipping with the trainer blade. But what I'm gonna tell you is that it is blade heavy as fuck with this on here, especially comparatively speaking to the live blade, which has carbon fiber inlays and not nearly as much mass. Look at this, is full stock thickness for all of these areas. The only areas of the live blade that are full stock thickness is this little section of the spine here, which has carbon fiber inlays. So it's a really cool, innovative design for that trainer blade, but it really does not flip well, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm not gonna pay too much attention to it in this video. Now let's dive into the real meat and potatoes of things. So when it comes to the flipping and the dynamics of this knife, I actually really enjoy it. It's got just a little bit less handle bias than like a stock Alpha Beast, and just a little bit more than a replicant, if that makes any sense. It feels like it's somewhere right in the middle of those two, and those are comparisons that just about everyone should be familiar with. Now, I really like the handles on this knife, because if I can get it to focus here, you can see the inlays are like proud out a little bit from the flat of the handle. And what it does is it offers excellent grip, and it gives like just a little bit of a rounded feeling to the handles without being too round that it wants to roll over on you during like twirls and chaplains and shit like that. But my favorite part about these handles is this part right here, where you can see it kind of like sinks in on both sides of the handle. Now that offers excellent grip. It makes like a perfect little pocket for your fingers to rest in, doing just about every trick. And also what it does is, it's almost like the handles are almost square on that part of the handle. So having that like definitive corner there makes fans feel really good, really precise. I really like it. Flips really well. Even though it did take some elbow grease to get this smoothed out the way I wanted it. Because I can tell you that out of the box it did not flip like this. It wouldn't even do that. Very rough and very crunchy, but now that it is straightened out, which the only other Bali I've ever had that was channel and bearings is the 87, and my 87 I bought brand new also, and out of the box was perfectly smooth. I think I owned that knife maybe 2 months before I sold it, and the entirety of the time that I owned it, I don't think I literally didn't even have to tune it out of the box, and I don't think I touched a single screw on that knife the whole time I owned it, and it was perfectly tuned. But this Pelican here did take a number of hours worth of fucking with it to get it tuned and perfect the way that I like it. Which is how it should come brand new, but hopefully when you guys get yours, it won't have any of those issues. I know it for a fact it won't have the spring latch tension issue. Your guys' spring latches will be perfect. But I'll keep my fingers crossed that your bearings are perfectly smooth like mine are now. Alright, so in closing out this review, I just want to say one more time that I really do like this knife, because like I had this hyped up in my mind for the past like 5 months since they first dropped the Proto. Now, that being said, am I mad that I spent $500 on it? At first, yeah, I was a little disappointed, just because I know for myself, and I'm sure most of you guys too, $500 is not a little bit of money, and to have the fit and finish issues that it did out of the box, well, there were no finish issues. The finish on this knife is perfect. The inlays are flush and even. Inside the channels is smooth and consistent. No like machining marks. The inlays in the blade, you can't even fit a fingernail between the seam. I haven't been pinched once by this knife the whole time I've been flipping it so far. Now, I'm not the best flipper, not by any means, but I like to think I know my way around well enough to at least tell you guys what's good, what's bad about a particular knife, how it's balanced, does it have blade bias, does it have handle bias. I mean, at the very least, tell you what I do like and what I don't like. But I can tell you I do like this Pelican a lot. Did take a little bit of work and a little bit of elbow grease to get it straightened out, but that little bit of work went such a long way, because this knife is just incredible now. Now it totally lives up to the hype and the expectation I had it built up to in my head. Alright, so guys, this was the Maxace Pelican. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.